Alright guys, welcome back to a dusty Wednesday afternoon on the farm. So, what I'm doing today is I'm in the Gator and I've got a sprayer in the back amongst some other things. Yeah, sprayer, handheld lance, and I'm just driving around the outsides of these arable fields and just spraying literally one strip, like a 30 to 50 centimetre strip with Roundup to kill the grass and stop it from growing into the crop, basically. Stop it from dropping its seeds into the crop, and it also gives me a nice, you see there it's pretty overgrown, there's not much difference between the crop and the grass. It gives me a nice neat line to follow with the divider on the header. So yeah, that's what I'm doing today. There's not really much else to say, to be honest, but what I have brought, what we're going to do in this video is go around and look at some of the crops. And so this is spring barley. I can't remember the variety, I'll stick it up on the screen now. And this hasn't had rain since, I think it's about the 20th of April, something like that. And we're going to dig a bit up and see how dry it is underneath. Pretty dry under there, it's just dust really. So considering how dry it is down here, the crop looks well actually. It's yeah, surprisingly well. It's coping with the dry weather, dry soil. You can feel it. There's a little bit of moisture in the roots, a little bit. You can still see the seed there, look, from where it's literally grown that plant from. It's got to have a fungicide on it in the next couple of days. Agronomy is not my strong point, as a lot of you will have probably noticed. That's the only problem with me going off to ag engineering at college. I missed out on the agronomy. It's something that I'm going to start taking more interest in and maybe actually do some agronomy courses. I'm not really sure what will happen to this crop if we don't get any rain. Dad said it's starting to remind him of 76, where it didn't rain from spring till autumn, so who knows. Okay, so dusty throat I got. These are the spring oats. They're the spring oats what I was spraying in the last video on Monday evening. You can see they're wilting a bit in the sun, but they're definitely looking, these were drilled before the spring barley, but not a lot in it, you know, like only a few days. But they're definitely taller and look a bit stronger than the barley. See if we can get the spade in the ground. I think it all depends on what sort of soil it's on, depending on how well the crops are going to do. On the lighter soil, they're obviously going to dry out quicker and die quicker. But on the heavier soil, it should be all right. Let's see if we can get the spade in the ground. Considering all these fields had the cultivator through them at about 20 centimetres, something like that, they've gone pretty hard. Yeah, there's a little bit of moisture down there. This is better than the field that the spring barley was on, isn't it? You can actually feel a little bit of moisture there, but still, yeah, that'll be right for a bit. But like Dad was saying, these haven't even had their second lot of nitrogen washed in yet, and it's probably just evaporated, to be honest. So it probably won't even, if it does rain, it probably won't even get the nitrogen because it's already evaporated. I thought I better chuck a strap over it just in case I go around the corner and it rolls out. I have moved it in the plant trailer before without putting a strap on it, but this time I just felt like I needed to put a strap on it. Driving through the yard, it was all a bit wobbly, a bit top heavy, so I thought just to be on the safe side. The policeman probably wouldn't be very impressed either if he saw me towing that up the road with no strap on it. So yeah, better to be safe than sorry. So I'm on my way up to farm 2, obviously with the Gator. Going to go do a bit of spraying up there with Roundup. spray some weeds around the yard and around the edges of the fields that need doing. I just thought it'd be quicker to put it in the trailer and tow it with the tractor, because the Gator only does 30k and the tractor, we're going up a slight hill right now and we're doing 51k, and that's on the GPS speed. That's not even on the flat. It does about 53k on GPS, so pretty good speed for this tractor. Okay, so this winter wheat is what variety?
It's Zayat.
Zayat. So this is second wheat, isn't it?
It's a second wheat. It's supposed to be a good second wheat, but we've never grown it before, so we'll see.
Yeah.
As you can see, the ear's just coming out now. It's probably a bit early.
So it just come out in here this week.
Just bursting out with booting.
Yeah.
It's had its flag leaf spray last week, T2.
Yeah.
To protect the flag leaf from septoria and diseases.
Yeah.
We'll probably spray it again next week once the ear's fully out.
Yeah.
To protect the ear.
What, with another fungicide?
Another fungicide,
yeah.
To protect it from ear diseases, like city moulds and that sort of stuff. This is a new variety, and it's actually a high yielding milling variety.
Yeah.
Which is quite high up on the NIAB list of high yielding wheats.
Yeah.
Which is unusual, because normally the highest yielding wheats would be feed wheats. Apparently this is a high yielding willow wheat, group 1, I think, so I'm told.
Okay.
So it'll be interesting to see what the quality is when we harvest it and what the yield is as well.
Yeah.
But it looks good. The flag leaf's curling up a bit.
Is that because of the stress it's under?
I think that's because of the dry
and the heat of the sun.
Heat of the day, it's sort of protecting itself.
So the flag leaf is curling up to protect itself from the sun, basically. It has this wax on it as well, doesn't it?
Yeah. I mean, that could. I mean, you can see the spray on there. Let's see it.
Yeah.
Where we put the T2 on to protect it. The normal disease you'll be looking to protect it from this time is septoria.
Yeah.
There's two different sorts of septoria, triticide and nodorum. But because it's so dry, there's very little disease pressure.
Okay.
It's normally much worse in wet years, because it splashes up the plant and starts off at the base, and it relies on wet weather to splash it up the plant. It's not transferred by air like rust and stuff like that.
Okay.
So yeah, it should be well protected. So it'll be interesting to come back and see what it's like at harvest time.
It seems quite short to me.
It's short. That could be the variety. That could be the stress from the drought. We've only used chloromaquat on it this year once.
Yeah.
Normally we would use 2 chloromaquats and a modus.
So that's one growth regulator.
Yeah.
And straw strengthener.
I don't know what it's like for straw strength. It might be that it's very high on the list for straw strength, so we needed to put less growth reg. The agronomist obviously decides that.
Yeah.
Whether we use 2 growth regs or modus as well. Normally wouldn't use modus on a very dry year, because it's quite a stressful chemical.
Okay.
That can affect the yield. So, but it's really good for keeping your tall wheat stood up.
Yeah. Yeah. So what sort of soil are we on here?
Well, what would you describe this as?
Well, it varies, doesn't it, between clay and...
It starts off sort of like a bit sort of gravelly down here, goes on to light, very light chalk, up to heavy clay on the brow. What you can't see from here, right on the top, there's a bit of heavy clay.
Yeah.
Where it was so wet in the winter, it just fell.
It just died. Anywhere where there was heavy clay, the crop just died.
So
just wet roots, I guess. Water.
But like I say, it's very stony and gravelly down here.
Yeah.
It looks okay down here.
So we're going to get this.
Okay on the brow.
I'll quickly grab the spade and see if I can dig a bit up. We've got. Is Graham the variety of the first wheat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That looks more stressed.
I don't think I'm going to be able.
The Graham actually looks more stressed than what the Zayat does.
Yeah.
The Graham always looks a bit. This time of year. Bit of moisture there.
You can see slight darkness in moisture. It doesn't feel like there's any moisture there, but there must be, because the plant is still green. It's actually coped quite well with the...
Wheat tends to cope well with summer drought. It actually will end up yielding quite well, simply because there's no disease pressure in it.
Yeah. Oh, I see.
increases the disease pressure.
So
a few of you might remember several years ago we had a horrendous wet June,
right.
and the wheat just went brown over a period of weeks through disease, and the yields were just abysmal.
So one of the biggest things for the yield being hit is disease.
Disease, yeah. Almost definitely, because what the disease will do, it will senesce the plant early before the flag leaf has fed the ear and filled the grain.
Okay, yeah.
So the longer you can keep the plant alive and healthy, the longer it will go on feeding that ear.
Yeah.
Fill the grain, plumper grains, better 1,000 grain weight.
Yeah.
More yield. That's where you get your yield, not necessarily in thickness of crop.
Yeah. Okay, we'll go and have a look at something else.
No, fed on them.
I'll try not to. So this is a crop of spring beans, variety Lynx. And when did we plant these? It was
March,
later
March.
on. Was it first half of March, wasn't it?
Early March. I think.
Yeah. And they're looking really well actually, considering they look quite thick actually.
Just starting to flower.
Find one that's just starting to.
They've just had a fungicide. Look, you can see that on the leaf.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you can still see the spray on the leaf.
Just a
And
fungicide to protect
the flowers are just starting to
them out.
pop out.
So what's interesting about beans is we dig one up. Oh, come on. Grows a bit hard. Come on, bean, out you come. Oh, come on.
It's quite hard.
Yeah.
Hopefully you got the root.
We look on here carefully.
Yeah.
You can see these little nodules
Yeah.
on there. And they're nitrogen fixing nodules. And inside those, there's the bean that he's rotting and
that's the
disappearing
seed.
now. But these little nodules are nitrogen fixing nodules.
Yeah.
There are bacteria in them that will fix nitrogen out of the soil and actually feed the plant.
Yeah.
So you never have to put nitrogen on them.
Yeah. So we haven't put any fertiliser on these. They basically feed themselves.
Your viewers might have noticed you put fertiliser on here earlier on, but that was kieserite.
That was magnesium. wasn't it?
Magnesium, which is a trace element, which is completely different to nitrogen.
Yeah.
So they're a good crop to grow because they feed themselves, and also when they die, they'll leave those nodules in the soil, which
Yeah.
will feed the next crop as well.
Yeah.
So they are quite a good crop to grow, but unfortunately I'm told the gross margin isn't that great on them. But you've got to look at it over 2 years.
Yeah.
So you could get a very good wheat crop following, first wheat crop following. And so you've got to balance out the yield up from the two crops really, rather than
Yeah.
just say, well, there's not much gross margin on beans, not making
Yeah.
us any money.
But we should get a bumper
But
crop of wheat.
Whereas if you just grew wheat after wheat,
Yeah.
you
The
wouldn't-
yields wouldn't be that
the yields
good.
would be rubbish, and you'd take all the goodness
So you can
out
still
of
see
it.
the bite marks in the leaves, can't you, from the weevil
Yeah, we've still been
chomping it.
chewing on them.
Is that fresh bite marks? Is that?
Oh, I suppose so. Can't see anything on there alive, but that won't do any harm now. To be honest, they've grown away from that.
Yeah.
now, so.
Yeah.
And they'll really motor now.
Yeah.
Get up to about yay tall, and hopefully the flowers won't be too low down, so that the combine guys will be able to get them.
Yeah.
A bit of moisture
There's
down there, I think.
tiny bit of moisture down there, but not much.
Yeah. But these will be deep rooting.
Yeah, they'll get their roots down, won't they?
They're
And
quite good in
I
drought.
hopefully
Yeah,
they'll
so
be a good crop.
there's not really much else to say really. They're quite clean. There's not much weeds.
No.
We used a pre-emergent spray on them. Good old pendimethalin, bloody stuff.
Is that for blackgrass? Is that?
Blackgrass, and it does quite a few of the broadleaf weeds as well.
That's one of the good things about growing these crops is you can use the herbicides that will kill the blackgrass.
So it had a pre-emergent. It's had no other herbicide at all since then. So the pre-emergent's done a fantastic job really.
Yeah.
Um,
So will that have to be sprayed with another fungicide?
It'll have another fungicide, yeah, probably about every week or two
All right.
from now on to protect it from chocolate spot.
Chocolate spot.
And there'll also be an insecticide at some stage.
Yeah.
To try and help the what's the bloody thing that gnaws the hole in the beans?
The beetle.
Yeah, some sort of beetle that'll. But it's unlikely you'll stop them if you do spray them because
Yeah.
And then what they do is they ruin the actual quality of the bean.
Yeah.
So instead of going for human consumption,
Yeah.
they end up just going for feed because they drill a little hole in
Yeah.
them, and once they've got that hole in them, they're no good for human consumption.
So it's quite likely that these beans will just go for livestock feed.
It may be because we've not grown beans for years. It may be that we don't get the beetle, and we might be lucky, and
Yeah.
they might not be here, and then we could sell them for human. And I think there's a vast difference in price, son,
Yeah, you actually get a good premium then.
rather than just for feed.
There's plenty of them here.
They look good. So
Yeah.
what we wouldn't do for a nice rain, look at the sky.
Yeah.
Not clouds in the sky.
There's definitely no rain up there.
No forecast, high pressure. No doubt it'll pour rain in a few weeks' time when we don't want it.
This would take inches of rain, wouldn't it?
Yeah, we're on more loamy soil over this side, aren't we? I mean, it's not really
Yes.
chalk and it's not clay. It's sort of in between. It's sort of quite nice soil,
Yeah,
really.
it's quite nice.
Bit of flint in it. But you know, this farm does range. I mean, I don't know which farm we're on. Are we on
Farm 2.
Farm 2. This farm ranges from heavy clay down to very light chalky soil, and this is some of the better soil we've got here.
Right.
So hopefully the fact that they're on good soil might help them through. Got spring oats down on the chalkier ground. They're not looking so great.
No, they'll struggle.
If we can get some rain soon, they might be okay.
What about the maize?
Well,
Looks like they need some. I don't suppose they've had their nitrogen washed in, have they?
I've put some fertiliser on it, but it's not washed it.
It's not washed in.
Maize has a habit of them coming back.
Yeah. As soon as that gets a rain on it.
And it's only a bit of game cover anyway, so we can always mix a bit of mustard in or some millet or something at a later stage of picking it up.
I'm quite surprised how thick they are. There's plenty.
No, they're very good.
Considering I could barely find the seed when I was drilling them.
That's the Graham out there with a bit of black mass in it.
Yeah.
I want to drill this.
Yeah. We won't show that. Well, it looks like the slugs have been eating it a bit.
There was loads of rooks on them yesterday.
Oh, rooks. But they just look pale, don't they?
Yeah.
Like they want their nitrogen.
Yeah, there was loads of rooks on Bumfield the other day.
Okay, so I'm done here at farm 2. I sprayed around the yard and sprayed round the wheat, the first wheat and second wheat, which is about 100 hectares. I'm not going to spray around the spring crops up here because A, there's not really much grass around them, and B, it's a little bit breezy, so we don't really want them getting a whiff of the Roundup. Okay, so I'm going to head back to farm 1 now, and yeah, back home and drop this Gator off, and then that'll be pretty much it for the day, to be honest. It's already 20 past 4, so by the time I get this Gator sorted out, it'll be 5 o'clock. And then we shall see what we can get up to tomorrow. I think I've got to go and load a straw lorry first, back up here at farm 2, and that's about it really. I know there's a bit of spraying. I've got to spray some of the spring barley with Turple, but that's about it.